There are a lot of systems that Boost has, and processing transactions correctly is going to be crucial, not just for you, but also for the customer experience as well. So you want to make sure that you understand how the different systems operate, what things you do in which systems, what SIM cards you need to use, so that you can do the transaction properly using the right system. So we're going to now spend some time walking through the different Boost systems. We're going to walk through the different SIM cards, all of those things, so you can be as clear as possible on what you need to use for which transactions. So there are 3 different systems that are combined into one. So you have your Boost Mobile activation portal. You have your ePay system, and then you have this register down here that is Boost Elevate. These are all connected into one system. So you do your activations, your payments, and all of your transactions, your accessory sales. You are all going to do that through one system. So let's take a deeper look at Elevate, where you can do your phone activations and your web posts. So when a customer comes into the store and they are wanting to do some sort of transaction with you, whether it's a new phone, whether it's a payment, you are always going to log into Boost Elevate. And when you log into Boost Elevate, you're going to see your options there for what type of customer you're going to be servicing. Is this a payment customer? And then it's going to take you to ePay so you can make that payment. Is it an activation? It's going to take you to the Boost sales portal so you can do the phone activation through there and the payment through there. Everything is now all combined in Boost Elevate. So when you go to do a transaction with a customer, the first thing you are going to do is to log into Boost Elevate, and it will give you choices of where you need to take the sale from there. So let's talk a little bit about what to use when. So there are various systems, various SIM cards, and not everything is as neat and clean as we would like it at the moment. So we want to spend some time reviewing with you how to best assess what you need to use when. So there are different portals that you can take payments through, different portals that you can do activations through. There's all these different types of SIMs, and it can get confusing at times what to use when. What is going to dictate what system and SIM you're going to use is going to be whatever device the customer decides fits their need. The device is going to determine which payment system you're going to use and which SIM card you're going to use. So the first thing that happens is the customer chooses the device. You make a recommendation. They might agree with that device. They might say, hey, I need a different one. I want to do this one. Whatever device they end up choosing, that device is going to determine which SIM to put in it. And it is also going to determine then which payment system you are going to use. So then the second thing that happens is the sales rep, you are going to then check which SIMs can be input into that device, because it might not be both of them. It might just be one. And then from there, you, the sales rep, are going to verify which activation portal to use. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, how the heck am I going to know this? Let me show you. So back to that Boost Mobile hot sheet that I showed you earlier. This is the list of all of the devices that are eligible. This is a screenshot, so this is just some of the devices. The hot sheet is longer than this. And it's giving you here along the right side all the different pricing. Now, if you look, you've got a column here that's the device name. And then right next to it, you have a column that says XP. And then you have a column that says GSF. XP is the legacy portal, and XP can only take the orange SIM. GSF is the newer portal, and this one can take the white SIM, the black SIM, or the rainbow SIM. And we will get more into the SIMs in just a minute. But this is where you know, okay, these are the devices. I know what SIMs can go in it, and I therefore know which portal to use. So, for example, if I am this Samsung A23 that we keep talking about, and I go here and I look, I can see, oh yes, it can go on the legacy portal and it can take a legacy SIM. And it can also be activated on the GSF portal and use a GSF SIM. So I know for the A23, that can take both. So at that point, then I'm going to ask the customer some more questions to see what they want. However, you will see that some of these devices, like the TLC 30Z over here, this one can actually only be activated on the newer portal on GSF. So it can only take the white, black, or rainbow SIM. Same thing here, the Nokia C200, it can only go on GSF using the white, black, or rainbow SIM. So you want to make sure that you check this device hot sheet so you know for sure which activation portal to use and which SIM to plug into that device. So let's talk about the SIMs. As I mentioned, there are 4 different SIMs out there. We have our rainbow SIM, our black SIM, our white SIM, and our orange SIM. The orange SIM is our legacy SIM. So this can only be activated on the legacy sales portal. You cannot use the GSF or Elevate Web. Those are both, GSF and Elevate Web are the same thing. Orange can only be used, activated using the legacy sales portal, and you can only use the orange SIM in it. So if you have a device that is legacy only, know that you can only put an orange SIM in there. Now, we also then have a white, black, and rainbow SIM. These all are activated on the guided sales flow, the GSF, or the Elevate Web. There's 3 different fun names for it. So whichever one you guys call it, that's where you need to make sure that you activate it on those portals. The white SIM is technically called the BEDN network that runs off of T-Mobile towers. The black SIM is called BTN, which technically runs on the AT&T towers. And the rainbow SIM is a brand new SIM, and it is not available everywhere. It is only available in certain markets where the Dish network has launched, and this is Dish's SIM. So this runs on the Dish network. So these top 3, if you're activating a customer using any of these 3 SIMs, you want to make sure that you're using Elevate Web, or the guided sales flow, or the GSF, whichever you want to call it. You want to make sure you're activating it on that system. If you're activating an orange one, you want to make sure that you're using the legacy system. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure that everyone is getting activated on the GSF system as often as possible. Again, the device dictates that. So there are some devices that a customer might want that can only be activated on legacy. But for the most part, you are really going to be activating most customers on GSF. At this point, it really becomes up to the customer with which network they want to be on. So if a customer wants to be on the T-Mobile network, then you're going to want to give them a white SIM card. Maybe they want to be on the AT&T network. Maybe T-Mobile doesn't work at their home, but they know AT&T does. Okay, great. Let's get them a black SIM card. And then maybe you're in a market where the Rainbow SIM and Dish Network is available, then great. You can put them on the Dish Network and give them a Rainbow SIM. So these are the 4 different SIMs, the networks that they operate off of, and the system you want to use to activate it. Again, going back to the process, it all starts with the device that the customer wants. If a customer wants a device that is only eligible for maybe an Orange SIM and can only be on the legacy portal or the legacy system, but they want to be on AT&T, then you can just have that conversation with the customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, the phone that you selected can only be on the T-Mobile network. If you want to be on the AT&T network, then I would recommend this device, which can be activated on the AT&T network. So if that comes up with a customer, just let them know and let them decide how they want to move forward. Overall, we are moving everything to GSF. So when possible, as often as possible, which will be most of your transactions, you're going to want to use the GSF system. So let's walk through some scenarios here. Let's say a customer wants a legacy device. What you're going to do is, okay, you know the customer wants a legacy device. Then you know, okay, in that case, this is going to be the Orange SIM. They're going to have access to the T-Mobile towers, and I'm going to activate it on the legacy portal. Let's say a customer brings a BYOD device. Depending on what that device is, I can check the hot sheet to see, okay, is this a legacy device or is this a GSF device? Is this a device that, or can it be activated on both? In which case, I'm going to ask the customer what their preference is. If they want to be on the legacy system, then you know it's the Orange SIM that you're going to put in. If they want to be put on, the GSF system, they want the BEDN network, the BTN network, the DISH network, then I'm going to ask them questions to understand which network they prefer to be on, T-Mobile, AT&T, or DISH when it's available. In the third scenario, let's say a customer is on a family plan that's on a legacy plan. Now, if a customer is on a family plan, that's one of the legacy plans, they've got a legacy phone, legacy SIM, and one of the family plan members wants to switch devices to an updated device that would be on the GSF system, then that becomes a conversation of, hey, you can't have one customer on a GSF system and GSF phone and the rest of the family on legacy. It all has to be the same. So that becomes a family decision of how they want to handle that. Do they want to switch everyone over, or does the customer that wants to switch, do they stay on legacy? So that's really up to the customer for them to decide, but no, for a family plan, you can't have them on both. It is one or the other.